It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Alrighty, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. How the heck is everybody here today?
Me and meningitis Mark over here.
Yeah. Bert was just asking what it was, if it was the 26th.
Is today the 24th? Or like, you're kidding, right?
No, I've been distracted with my thoughts. I apologize. Yeah, that's right. April 1st. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Bird.
That's the day after April 1st.
Close, getting there.
Yeah, we're close. That's a lot closer than the 24th.
Dial it in. You'll get it eventually. That's all good. Yeah, I'm kind of glad to get past that initial April 1st. It is really kind of starting to turn into one of my least favorite days of the year.
People are trying to mess with people now, and so now you have to be on guard.
And I don't hate springtime either.
No, spring's cool. I mean, I am feeling it. Hey, the weather's still great. There's a lot of cool events that are going on. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still loving it. It's good. It's warming up a little bit. I think I like it a little bit warmer than I do colder.
Things
It's
start
a little chilly there for a while.
Things start getting shitty mid-July, August, and September.
Yes.
Those are not fun months.
No, they're not. Yeah, you kind of dread those. And I in the back of my head, I do have that dread of that just crazy hot. And you notice, too, there's nothing to do. Nothing is going on. It's July and August.
August is just,
August is miserable. There's just, there's just
Brutal.
really, basically by the end of June, you get into that. I guess you got the 4th of July, but it always is murky. It just feels murky, and it usually rains, and it's not awesome. It's just swampy, and that's really the start of swampy season.
I love holidays. I love when people are all jacked up and they get excited. There's something to look forward to. But 4th of July, as far as the fireworks and the loud shit, I think I'm too scared of it.
Yeah, I don't. Some people love fireworks. It doesn't do much for me. To me, after you've seen a few, I feel like, okay, you kind of seen them all, and then it's late. And it's not worth staying up, so I never stay up to watch fireworks.
And there's always one or two fuck faces that kind of ruin it for everybody. They go rogue with their fireworks.
Fireworks bring the douche out of people.
They do. Absolutely.
Rocco loves fireworks. So that's the only reason that I love fireworks. But if he didn't love them, I wouldn't be down.
And I get it. Kids, for sure, I totally understand it.
I feel like I aged out of fireworks a long time ago.
I have too. But I love the concept of 4th of July. I love the barbecue.
Yeah.
Merca.
Oh, when people start bringing out fucking bottle rockets, and there's always some cowboy. Oh, look at this shit. I don't know where that thing's going. And I'm sure it's going to find my retina.
Bootleg fireworks.
Yeah.
Get the water.
He's always shirtless.
Crystal asked if I've ever seen the Disney fireworks. Yeah, back in the day. I think when the twins were younger, we actually went and stayed and watched the fireworks. And yeah, it was something. But yeah, there becomes a fireworks show where you know you'll never see a better one.
Yeah, that one's different because it's the end of it's the Disney one. They're celebrating.
Yeah.
You can see it from all over the park. That's not the douche guy with the shirt off that's lighting off bottle rockets.
Right. But I've done it once. I don't think I would have any drive to stay. I've been in those situations. I was at a baseball game a couple weeks ago, and they're like, hey, the fireworks are coming up. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Like that was going to make you stay.
Right. They did.
Hey,
they couldn't believe I was leaving before the fireworks.
Tell me nickel beer's about to start if you want to get me excited.
In fact, you could argue when they said fireworks, you get the fuck out of there quicker.
Yeah, I did. I was like, all right.
Oh, good. That means all these people will stick around and I can get out of the parking lot quickly.
I think I've got underlying issues with fireworks because I had a family member tell me, oh, yeah, fireworks is when they light dead bodies on fire. And that's what you're seeing in the sky.
So you've just always been traumatized by it.
As a kid, I'm going, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Who told you that?
Yeah, I'm not trying to dox my brother.
I think older brothers they live to torment younger brothers.
I think he was just fucking with me. I was young and I believed it. I think he forgot he told me that.
It's fun when you have older siblings, from what I always notice, and I don't, but it always seemed like they would find your weakness, and if you showed any weakness, it was like blood in the water for a shark.
I mean, I had a big family, and I'm not sure how much time you got to spend with your sisters together. I was with my brother and my two sisters, and then my niece came along, and she was pretty much like my sister too.
And you were all together in the house.
So we were, I mean, super, super close, and we would fight, but I mean, all of my family's very tight with one another. We're kind of that family we can tell each other anything. And it was always odd that when I would see a family not be able to do that. And there's plenty of families like that.
Sure.
But were you around your sisters a lot?
So, not nearly probably as much as I'd like to have been. When I went to college, my sister, who was 5 years younger than me, who grew up in the same house, my mom took her to Texas. So they moved back to Texas when my parents got divorced. So she kind of spent her high school years in Texas, which, not fun. So we didn't get to have that time together as young adults, as older teenagers. But when she was little and I would go to high school parties, I would bring her with me and we'd all be doing, quarter bounce, that game, and she'd be doing it with Kool-Aid, and she thought it was the coolest.
Yeah, training her to become an alcoholic. I love it.
Yeah.
We're flourishing
Dude,
and functioning.
See, I can tell Kevin was an only child because you are organized. And so many, I'm not saying that happens to every only child, but so many people that I know that were only childs, they are very organized people.
Yeah.
And you wonder it's because they didn't have other people fucking their shit up all the
Yeah,
time.
coming behind him. That's something still to this day that I have a hard time in our house because there's no respect for your own personal shit in my house.
Yeah, if you're an only child, you didn't have to share a towel.
No, I have something set up, and my wife is just like, that bully 800-pound gorilla comes in. I have my headphones, and I still have the corded one because, I'm just cheap. And I have the cord, of course, is nicely just kind of wrapped, and it's done in a way, and it's in my drawer. I know exactly where it is. I go in to get my headphones because I need them, and they're gone.
Oh.
I go looking for them, and they're like behind my wife's nightstand, and it looks like someone took them and tried to tie them into 800 knots.
Oh, that drives you crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I wish there was a camera on you.
Oh my gosh. And you're just like, oh. So immediately everything else in life must stop, and I have to spend 20 minutes untangling my headphones and putting them back in the neat spot. And then, of course, 2 hours later, I go back to get them. Like, oh, they're gone again.
Oh, boy.
Much like tech rage, not rage is a real thing.
It is.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, and I've just noticed that ever since, my wife joined me in my house, my space is it's condensed. Every year it gets smaller and smaller. I have like a 3 foot by 3 foot space of quiet now in my home. It's just shrinking.
You have a toilet that you can use, right?
No, a lot of times something else is going on with it. The dogs are usually in there. Yeah. Yeah, there's
Dogs
always,
took your bathroom?
You always try to find a space of solitude in my place, and there's always something going on.
Dogs.
There's nowhere to hide.
Oh, man.
It's just it. There's just nowhere to hide anymore. I know where to go. Let me see. Got several things to touch on here today. Still kind of on the fence about doing Tortuga on Saturday. I just don't know how I feel about a $150 ticket, man. That's a little steep.
And that's like the basement
That's general
ticket.
admission. Yeah, it's general admission. And Vicky, who I saw back at the Country Bay Music Fest in November in Miami, took a picture with her. She said, yeah, I've been doing Tortuga every year since it started in 2014. The VIP experience is night and day better and worth it. After the first year, I started doing VIP, and I'll never go back to GA. You have a much better view of the stage, free drinks in certain areas, and air-conditioned bathrooms, the fancy portable style porta potties, splurge and do it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like it's not my thing. I mean, there's one band that I really want to see, and it ain't worth $150 to see one band.
No, not unless they're going to give you a hand job.
Dominion. And I haven't asked. I didn't see that on the ticket. I don't know if that's in the VIP package.
We can put in a formal request. It might be weird, but
Look, $150 a concert and a toss off, that's worth it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From the band, yeah.
Any member, it could be the bass player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. RJ said, Kevin, you need to put a shed in your backyard. We actually have a shed in our backyard, and it,
That's your new bedroom.
no, it's rat infested.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
So you go in there, you're with rats. But you know, I'm getting to the point where it's like, hello, rats. My name's Kevin. How would you like to hang out for a while?
Do you mind if I chill here for a little bit?
Damn.
But to RJ's point, there are some sheds that are tricked out now.
Oh,
where
yeah.
You
Yeah.
you really could, if you needed to get away, you could turn that into a little fun cave of sorts.
Totally. They turn them into little bars.
They are. I was thinking about putting one in my backyard, but they're a lot of some of them are a lot of money.
Yeah, no doubt. They are. They can be. Ours is not, but they can be.
Ours is now a rat motel.
That's the rats making pay some rent.
Honestly, it's the only function that it has. It's a tricked out house for rats. For rats, it's the Biltmore.
You have a rat house.
I have a rat house.
That's kind of awesome.
The rats love it. It's fantastic. The dogs love it too. Ocho loves hunting rats.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He doesn't really hunt them. He just tries to play with them and bats them around a little bit. And they don't like it, but
I think that's them trying to show off for you too. Hey guys,
I think so. Yeah.
I'm Ocho and I'm here and I'm keeping. I'm
Yeah.
doing my work
trying
here.
to do my work because otherwise that dog really doesn't pay his way.
No,
No,
he's not. It's not.
he's not really contributing.
The only thing he brings to the table is rat dominance.
And turds.
Yeah, and he's really good at picking an NCAA men's basketball bracket.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
He loves a chicken nugget.
It's pretty crazy. In the second round, he missed one game.
Wow.
So he's still in it.
Yeah, he's doing better than me. I'm like out. I'm gone. I'm in last place in the family, behind Ocho and Grandma. So I'm not doing well.
Who's winning?
I think Kim. I think the
Your
queen.
wife
which
is
is just
winning.
terrible.
I don't think she's
It's the
gonna.
worst.
She won't rub it in your face though.
It's the worst. You could have dialed up a worse scenario. The queen is in first. I'm in very last, and Grandma and Ocho are kicking my ass. It's just
You're getting beat by your pet.
it's just the perfect recipe for nonstop trolling.
You do belong in the rat shed.
Honestly, that's why I was thinking about going and hanging out with the rats. Because the rats haven't started trolling yet.
You should really go full gorilla and just go all in rat. Put a rat house sign on the top of it.
Maybe I do.
Really? Maybe start leaving cheese for them.
Maybe I do.
Maybe you play Rat the band.
Yeah, go all in.
Just go all in on
Accept it
Rat.
and really go out there and hang out.
Just going, really, this would be my
Just
new place.
commit to it
Yeah.
fully. Rat life.
I'm getting there.
I would respect that so hard.
Like how they have those tickets, those stickers, Salt Life.
Yeah.
You go Rat
Rat
Life.
life. That could be it. That could be it. We were talking a little bit about recreational marijuana could be on the ballot in Florida in November. I think that's a pretty big deal. Ashley, she said, okay, here's why I say no to legal weed. Traffic is already terrible in South Florida. Now more people are going to be impaired with their driving. What could go wrong?
Well, they're going to do it anyway. If they're going to smoke weed, you're going to smoke weed.
You're not supposed to smoke
Yeah.
or drink and
No.
drive. Like that's
If that was the case, then you'd have to throw that filter through everything you're talking about in life. People are going to always do what they want to do. You're not supposed to smoke weed and drive. And
No.
me and Denny's are always talking about that.
No,
It's important to talk about.
But she did. That is the one thing before I do cast my vote officially. I think I know where I'm leaning clearly in November. But yeah, I will take a look at that because I do probably about a month or two ago, I did read at least one article. I want to see, are the numbers going up in some of those states? And I do remember the one thing is they are still trying to find what they think is a proficient test for impairment on marijuana. They have a really good one. They like where they are with alcohol. You do the breathalyzer, bam. You know, they said that's the trick with the marijuana. They don't have the equivalent.
I mean, if you did that with weed, you have to kind of throw the same filter as alcohol. I mean,
Well, like I'm saying, they really can nail impairment for alcohol.
for sure.
The impairment for weed is tougher.
It's crazy too, man. Those DUI videos, they only have 2 drinks. Everybody's
had 2 beers.
It's only
always
been
the standard.
2. It's always been 2. And then, oh, you're going to hear from my lawyer. That's what they always say.
Yeah, that's it. Christina, we were talking about Rebel Wilson. I think it was yesterday in the Dirt. Had a video that had kind of come out about the whole issue about her sticking her fingers in Borat's ass. And she was just talking about how she was kind of pressured and pushed. And Christina, with a little bit more background information, she said, if you hear it directly from Rebel Wilson, she complains about Sacha Baron Cohen asking her to a room with a couple of his friends in it to ask her to put a finger up his bum. This was the first she had heard of his idea, and he wanted her to do it in a shady room full of his friends. Not being filmed for the movie, in a room full of cast and crew, just for fun. So the scene of her actually acting that you played audio of is not what she's actually complaining about.
Ah.
Okay, good details there. She also details many other ways he treated her when they made that movie. They had the same agent representing them, and when she called the agent to say, hey, these things have been happening and it's kind of bothering me, she was pretty much told, yeah, there's 5 movie studios in this town and we can ruin your name with every single one if you make any problems. This happened before the Me Too movement. Rebel has also explicitly said she doesn't believe in canceling anyone, but wants to share her side of the story.
Other thing, too, I think the Sacha Baron Cohen dude, I don't think it's going to be a shocker. I think he might have been, especially in the height of his success, kind of not the easiest person to work with.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, think of all the crazy stuff that comes out of that mind.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's a little unhinged.
he's not a guy that I think gives a fuck what people think, and I think he's going to, without a doubt, I think he's got a very big ego.
He's a pirate with an ego and power.
Now, none of us are there. I don't know what happened, but I'm not shocked to hear that
No.
Sacha Baron Cohen was a dick face.
No, it doesn't stun me in the least. It'll be interesting to see where
But
it goes.
when Borat did come out, because it had the whole thing of, oh, this is real, he really did these stunts. I don't think the Pam Anderson thing was real. I think that was the only thing in that whole movie. Borat was cutting edge, next level.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it
it was
yeah.
really good entertainment to the point you go, holy fuck.
He was definitely pushing the boundaries of what exists at the time.
But you can't. I mean, you can't fly that fast and that hard. So, I mean, someone's gonna. You just can't.
There'll be something.
Oh, people are gonna bring you. They're gonna get you.
No doubt. Did you hear Shakira going after the Barbie movie?
I saw the story. I skipped over it because
Why is that?
I don't think she got it.
What did Shakira say? I love Shakira, Kevin.
Shakira said her sons Milan and Sasha absolutely hated the Barbie movie because they felt that it was emasculating. She said, and I agree to a certain extent. Shakira said that she would rather see her sons feel powerful while still respecting women. And in her opinion, Barbie fell short in that regard. She said, I like pop culture when it attempts to empower women without robbing men of their possibility to be men, to also protect and to provide. She noted that men have a purpose in society and women have another purpose as well. Before concluding, we complement each other, and that compliment should not be lost.
The problem I have with that is in the Barbie franchise, Barbie is the top dog. It's not about emasculating anybody. It's about Ken knowing his place in the Barbie universe.
So here's what my problem.
I don't think
was.
she understands the movie.
Here's what my problem with the whole thing was. And I mean, we're talking about the Barbie movie, so I'm not really mad about it. But what the first month that the Barbie movie came out, all you heard from many outlets was that everybody loved the Barbie movie, and if you didn't love it, you're chauvinistic, you are a pig, and that every woman seriously loved it. And I know for a fact that that's not true. I know plenty of women who just said in their own words, said what Shakira said, that have that opinion, and it wasn't being reported on. It was just saying everyone loves the Barbie movie, and if you critique it, you are a bad person. That's why I would make the joke, I love the Barbie movie, because you weren't really allowed to give an opinion. Sometimes people just watch a movie and they don't like it and it's got no agenda. It's not because you want to keep women down.
Yeah.
You just thought it was a shitty movie, and people weren't allowed to say that without getting their head cut off.
Yeah. It feels like the old traditional logic of the gender roles and how they were had kind of come under attack, where if you like the old traditional gender roles that used to be out there, men as provider and, some of those kind of things, that was toxic and that was terrible, and that opinion was under attack and people were made to feel bad and that you were a barbarian if you did. And look, I think everybody should be able to keep their own adaptation of how they want the roles to be. I think you're going to have floating roles in many different subsects and situations.
And everything in life has nuance. I mean, just because you watch something and you didn't like it doesn't mean there's anything deeper other than the fact that you just didn't like the movie. It doesn't mean it's this social thing. You're trying to keep anybody down. And that's the stuff I have a problem with, which the media dominates. It's either you think this way or you think that way, and there's no nuance in between.
Yeah.
And that's horseshit. And I feel like I want to be somebody in the media that calls that out.
Yeah. Well, the toxic masculinity that happened, it seemed like any form of masculinity was then being deemed toxic. And I think that term kind of lost its way a bit for a lot of people. There were some instances that I saw. I'm like, well, okay, so wait, all masculinity's bad?
No, and
it
that's
should be demonized. And I think that's where sometimes, like with anything, they come up with a concept and then they take it too far.
It goes too far, and then you lose people who are in the middle that would support your cause, and then you go, what the fuck is this crazy shit?
Yeah,
But
like,
just by criticizing the Barbie movie for being anti-masculinity means you don't understand the Barbie movie and you don't understand the Barbie empire. It's not about Ken. It's about Barbie.
But I think that's I see what you're saying. Barbie's the star; she's in charge of that universe.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're hearing what Shakira is saying.
Well, she's talking about the Barbie movie, but she's putting the whole masculinity and the anti-masculinity movement on it, and I don't think the two really have a lot to do with one another. This movie is about Barbie.
yeah, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't say exactly what it is that she
You should
feels.
go listen to what Mark Maron had to say after he saw the movie. I liked what he had to
But
say.
again, though,
Okay.
your example, that guy is so polarizing on his. I mean, the people you're talking about are. It's the whole thing's political. To everything turns political because the people that were more conservative on the right that did those kind of podcasts, they had that opinion about the Barbie movie, and people that leaned a little bit left had the opinion of no, it's there's a message here.
So again, the voice in the middle gets lost.
And then there's the people like me that just wanted to watch the movie and say, did I like the movie just because it's a movie? And that's what sometimes gets lost.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, in my opinion. I could be wrong. What the fuck do I know? I'm a man. We love the Barbie movie here.
Yeah.
You dick.
Another one that's always a lightning rod topic. Alvarado, he sent an email. He said, I went to go buy a suit. And when I was paying for my suit, an option came up asking if I wanted to leave a tip. A tip. I didn't say anything, and I just chose not to leave a tip. I did have someone helping me, but this did not make any sense on why I needed to leave a tip. I've been to several men's clothing stores when they provided the same service with no option on giving a tip. My total was $515. So if I would have left like a 20% tip, that would have been an additional $103. I was really kind of annoyed. I did some research on the matter of tipping, and an expert mentioned that a tip is always an option when it comes to giving one. We should not feel bad not leaving a tip if you need to grab your own beer and bring it to the register. I think it probably depends upon the certain circumstances and what you do. And, a tip too, sometimes I think that a lot of those machines, they're always immediately going for a 10, 15, or 20% tip. But hey, look, if somebody helps you out and you feel like they did a good job of putting you in the right suit, is there anything wrong with giving them a $10 bill? $20? Because he's talking about $103. I mean, that does seem on a $500 suit like it's pretty good.
That's excessive.
That's a pretty good wage, yeah.
If someone has helped get you a suit and now they want $100 as a tip, that's
and I think,
insanity.
I think that's why some people are so against the tipping thing, because those seem to be the options that they give you when they do it digitally, is you're giving a percentage of the total tab. You're like, well, look, I might give you a 10. That feels generous, or tops a 20 on a $500 suit. But I mean, come on, man, $100, that's crazy.
It starts to get you to the place mentally where you want to start growing your own food and making your own clothes and doing things on yourself, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
I think legitimately, I think there are people that are like, look, just put me out of this thing. It was the way I felt when they started doing that in bathrooms, and that's been going on for 20 years. I always hated that, and it got to be the point where I hardly ever carried cash on top of it, and I'm just like, I was trying to wave them off, saying, no, I got it, man. I'll turn on the sink. I'll do the soap. I don't want to be guilted. I know I can handle all this on my own. I have been my entire life.
I've done it.
Yes. So I don't want you to feel like you gave forth effort and I'm a dick because I didn't give you any money, but I can do all this stuff. Just let me do it on my own.
If you take some mints or something or some gum,
That's where I think
can
the tip
see,
works.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, just turning on water, getting my own towel and hitting the soap dispenser, I got it.
That is an odd thing that's pushed on people.
Well, what they would do is they would take the soap and they would keep the soap. So you can't wash your hands
I know.
unless they come over and give you a...
And that's kind of a dicky thing to do, too.
I know.
That's
So now you've used them. Now you definitely feel like I owe them something because they walked over here and squirted the soap on me.
You're in the middle of a hijack situation.
Exactly.
That's fucked up, man.
So I remember one time because we used to always have to do the Blue Martini gig, and there was a guy who was in there, and so I
Blue
walked
Martini
in.
and Dirty Martini. Both the martinis had it.
Yeah. So I go in there, and they got the guy, and I put down a 5, and this is 15 years ago. I put down a 5. I'm like going, okay, hey, I'm like, for the night I'll probably be back in again. And so I saw the guy, made eye contact with him, make sure he saw me, that, hey, this guy's tipped, he's all good. I come back 40 minutes later, it's a new fucking guy.
Oh, you are fucked.
I'm like, and then I'm trying to do that uncomfortable, well, I gave the last guy 5.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's terrible. Because he was looking at me like, you asshole,
He's
you're
like,
not going to tip me.
sure
I'm like,
you
I gave the
did.
last guy $5.
Well, he didn't give a fuck. He didn't want to hear about the 5 you gave the
No, he
last
didn't
guy.
give a shit. It's my last 5. I didn't
And
have
you're
any
probably
money.
lying about the 5 you gave the last guy.
Oh, yeah.
He
So
don't know.
thought he don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. So, I mean, in this thing, tipping was the only thing I could think where you would do that. I have heard in some, it's not my pay scale, but I think in some higher end where you're talking about Palm Beacher type stuff, they probably give really good tips to those people because they.
It's like a personal shopper.
Yeah, there's a whole different level that goes to it. But
it
to the
is.
level I'm going to, I would be on his level if I ever got a suit.
When I worked at the fancy golf course, there were things they would have out and do that I would bet you the members didn't really even give a shit about, but they thought they had to do it because it looked fancy, and they probably spent so much money on doing those things that nobody really even gave a shit about.
That's where I was on Friday at the fancy place where you used to work.
Admiral's Cove?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
there.
fancy.
They were still talking about you.
No, they weren't.
They weren't.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's possible.
You are a legendary man, but it's been 20 years.
It's been over 20, yeah.
Trashley sent an email. She said, I laughed at y'all's conversation about assimilating to Florida. A lot of people, also then kind of like getting used to where your rating is. I moved from tiny little Homosassa Springs, Florida, where I was, probably a 5.5, maybe a 6, out in bumfuck Egypt. Then I went to Tennessee, where I quickly moved up to probably a solid 8 by
Okay.
perspective. Then I got to West Palm Beach, where I immediately dropped back down to a 4.5. It's all about perspective, my friends. And, I think that is, depending upon where you are. Because, yeah, South Florida, I could be a 6. I go to my hometown, 8 to 9. Oh, I feel like I'm pushing it, right? What do you
I
think,
agree.
Bird?
I'm a French Quarter 9.
Don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a hot piece of ass.
I'm a Logan 8, right?
Oh, you're a Logan 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're a Logan 9.
You'd be getting 69s on the reg up in Logan.
Okay, yeah. So I
But do
think it
you
is.
want them?
I don't know if you want them.
You don't want those kind of 69s.
My favorite part of my Logan trip
No, you don't.
was when Kevin set up Logan people he grew up with to hang out with us, but I could tell they kind of didn't want to hang out with us. And they were
They
forced.
did. They did, yeah.
Y'all
Well,
don't have to hang out
they
with
did
us.
us a favor.
I invited this one guy. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? We're going to meet up with the Bigfoot festival. It's like, my wife.
It's getting late.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. But it was solid though. That
they were
Logan's
very nice.
They're really nice. I mean, I don't see those guys like hardly ever. But Logan's that kind of town where you move away for 25 years and they still pick right up and will do you a favor and a solid.
And I feel like they all really do know each other in that town.
Absolutely do. Yeah, we're all still very tight. Yeah, so that is a beautiful thing about growing up in an amazing town like Logan.
That's what was shocking to me when I was up at Marianna, Florida, playing baseball. within a month, the whole town just knew everything about everything.
They do,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm talking impressive numbers of knowing, oh, that person right there, oh, yeah, he's fucking Mrs. Thatcher.
Well,
You were the young new
you.
hottie, too. When you get into town and you roll in like the new fresh meat.
I did notice that, too. I was the new kid in town, and like a month later, a new kid came in town, and there was talk about
That asshole took your shine?
Oh, there was always an asshole ready to take some shine. Yeah.
But they do. They take care of you, man. Like if you ever wound up in the hospital or something like that, you would have your meals taken care of for like 2 weeks. They would do a thing like you're taking Monday, Tuesday, and that's the kind of stuff they do, man. Somebody would sit there with you the entire time.
It was noticeable how they just were. People were very kind up there. They would take
kind.
you
They're just
in.
amazing. They do, yeah. When you move into a town, you know the whole town's got your back.
At first, they're a little sketchy because they're feeling you up. Once you get into their heart,
But you get in the click, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, I do miss that, man. You can't get that anywhere. That's really good stuff. You see, Mark said, I love my parents very much, and they mean the world to me. They have both been sick for more than a year now, and on February 29th, my mom had passed away. It's almost kind of like she did it on purpose because she knew we don't have to think about once every 4 years. It was kind of her nature. My dad was devastated as they've been married for 62 plus years. And in the last couple of weeks, he's bounced back and forth from rehab to the hospital, and he's only going to get worse until he passes as well. When my mom was in the same place, I told her it was okay to let go. I'll be telling my father the same thing. My problem is the extreme guilt I feel for not mourning their loss like I think I should, but I actually feel happy that they get to go. I'm really mixed up about this one. Am I bearing emotion that I'll manifest later on, or am I... I'm just coming to you guys because you're basically family to me, so I need family.
I can tell you this much. First of all, you should not feel bad because you don't want to feel this way. You want to feel the loss, and sometimes it's okay that you don't. It's more common than you think, and there may be a time in your life when you do feel a little bit more, but don't beat yourself up about this at all. It's more normal than you think.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you don't miss or love them. It just means it's just hitting you in a different way.
It helps me to accept and know it's a part of life. That we're just all going to have to go through it. And you hope you cherish every day that you get, and you look at every day like a gift. It's not a right that you have to have all these days. So every time you get one, you look at it with gratitude. And then when it's their time to go, it's for whatever reason their time to go.
And everyone handles that stuff differently, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. So, yeah, don't pile any guilt on yourself for absolutely no reason. Your mom definitely wouldn't want that. Doesn't sound like, by the way you wrote it up. The only ones that are ever tough for me, Virginia, are just when you're talking about little kids. Those are the only ones that ever get to me.
Yeah.
Because you feel like that just they didn't get enough time.
They didn't get that time.
Yeah, and those do bother me still, and that's the hardest ones I have. But if you're talking about adults that have been around, that got kids and grandkids and all that stuff.
Some cultures really do celebrate death to kind of, it's almost an honor. You made it, you did it, and they celebrate your life.
I think you should.
I get, there's no way if someone passes away that you love, I mean, a lot of people are going to be heartbroken, whether you're trying to do a celebration about that or not. And that's normal to feel that. But it's also normal sometimes to almost go into a numb state and not have that dread of sadness.
It's easier for me, I think why, so many different parts of the world, they've got some kind of belief in an afterlife or something, because it's a lot more comforting. And I do. I have the belief that there's a soul, an energy, or a something that it goes on to a different place, and this is just part of your eternal journey. And so, for me, that makes it a lot easier for me. Now, I could be completely wrong, but, hey, it does help me process the whole what's a pretty tough concept.
I mean, it's important. I mean, it's so important. You got to be kind to other people, but you really do got to be kind to yourself too. And you just went through a loss.
No doubt.
Don't put anything extra on your plate.
No doubt. So I'm glad that you think of us as family, and anybody else. Yeah, we are all one big family. So if you ever have something you're going through, fire that email to us.
Me and Kevin are in the Dead Mothers Club.
Yeah, we are.
Damn.
So. We know more than you.
Mine almost kicked it. She was trying to kill herself by not going to the heart doctor.
Well, maybe one day, Virginia, you can join our parties. They're a real hoot.
They sound great.
Sorry, it just was getting real heavy. I had to make some kind of dumbass joke.
Thank God my mom finally went to the heart doctor because she would have dropped dead.
No,
they rushed her right to emergency surgery.
Yeah, good.
It's good PSA.
Yeah.
Go get your ticker checked. Listen to your kids.
No doubt. It's awesome. You can still talk to your mom.
Oh.
Damn. Yeah. How was your Easter?
Did you call your mom on Easter, Jay?
Oh, damn. Nope.
You can call my mom if you want.
No, Kev, I didn't.
Yeah.
Actually, I ordered shitty Wawa and almost threw up.
Yay, happy Easter.
Why did you order Wawa?
Dude, I had the worst fucking Easter ever.
You get DoorDash, but you get Wawa?
It was, make me feel worse, please.
I mean, talk about trip and fall.
It was.
Fumble fucked your way through that.
It was.
Hey, I think
I'm
I
gonna
want to
go
get
on
delivery from a
DoorDash.
gas station.
Yeah, I'm going to pay $80
It wasn't a good
and I'm going to
move.
get the shittiest food. Where can I get the shittiest food?
On top of
gas station.
On top of that, they fucked up the order. It was
Oh, they
Racetrack
got it
hot dog
wrong.
today, Bird?
that was better than the Wawa.
And he said they messed it up too. His order was wrong.
Yeah, there you go. What do you expect, huh? What do you expect? Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you for all the emails. Send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.